in a full face of conspicuous makeup, rendering him 3 shades lighter than normal, current candidate for Ohio Governor Vivek Ramaswamy took the stage at a Montana State University Turning Point USA event. I thought he looked a little different. I thought he was sick, but I thought he looked a little bit different. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters, and this is Racist of the Week, where we explore the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination in hopes we can build a more perfect union. And also laugh. As usual, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And of course, if you have any nominees, you can drop them in the comments. You can email me at admin@reesewaters.com. Today's nominee, Turning Point USA. But before we get to them, Vivek. Hey, Vivek, let me holler at you. Now, I got to deal with you first. What's this?
Just got to Montana. Did a beautiful hike. Thinking a little bit about what I want to say tonight at Montana State. Charlie, in my last conversation was about what does it mean to be an American? I think we'll pick up where he and I left off.
Didn't I tell you to stay out of red country? Huh? I told you to stay out of MAGA country. They done already told you what it is.
Are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president, but I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
What, bitch? What?
And if you're going to go out there, the last thing you want to do is post it on social media, because you know what happens when you post on social media. Here's a photo he posted of his son on the beach, to which the response was teaching son to poop on the beach. Here you got another photo with your kids, to which the response is, why don't Americans deport this Indian, amongst others? We don't even have to look at old posts. We can just look at the comments under this post. You realize what you are to them right now, right, little bro? I often go for hikes in a polo shirt. Why not, I don't know, come to Ohio for one day? No, don't say that, because it don't go any better for him in Ohio neither. Oof, even I felt bad for Vivek. I'm not a fan of his, but he did not deserve the overt racism he received. No one deserves that. See, I told you. I don't know how many times we got to have this conversation, Vivek. I mean, really, I just, you know, sometimes I feel like you are masochistic. You are a Racist of the Week masochist. You just enjoy being down here. You like my company? Is that what it is? How many of these have been collected, either given to you or have been given out because of what was done to you? You should sponsor this whole bit. All right, run the clip.
Jesus Christ is God, and there is no other God. He is part of the Holy Trinity, and any other God is a demon, and it's false. How can you represent the constituents of Ohio who are 64% Christian if you are not a part of that faith?
He didn't say, this is what I believe. He called your God a demon. Okay? Bruh. Hey, the levels of, he called your God a demon. Like one of the characters on Saturday morning cartoons. Like you pray to one of the people that used to come out the cave on Masters of the Universe. He-Man. He called your God a demon. He said your God be doing donuts in the 7-Eleven parking lot at 3 in the morning. He said your God be looking to trap dudes for child support. I think your God is what turned that lady into a frog in that failed Black Disney movie.
If you are an Indian, a Hindu, coming from a different culture, different religion than those who founded this country, those who grew this country, built this country, made this country the beautiful thing that it is today, what are you conserving? You are bringing change. I'll be 100% honest with you. Christianity is the one truth.
Too bad it was nobody in the audience to object to built this country. That's just what nobody stood up and objected to built this country. Okay. Cause we got a narrow camera view, but I feel like I know who all was there. We all missed it.
Christian voices should be the main voice of America, and I want to know basically why you seem to be, and I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why you seem to be masquerading as a Christian.
She didn't mean to be horribly offensive. She didn't mean it. You can't get mad. You can't get mad. She did not mean to be horribly offensive. I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why are you masquerading as a decent man?
I'm a decent man from the city of demons.
I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why are you masquerading as somebody I would be even remotely interested in?
You serious?
I think that was what's on his, I think, cause she said masquerade. So I think that, cause he look a little, oh, we'll get there? Okay.
You familiar with the 10 Commandments?
You call yourself a Hindu, but you also call yourself Christian.
I don't call myself Christian. I call myself a Hindu. I'm not running to be pastor of Ohio. I'm running to be governor of Ohio, and I didn't run to be pastor of America. I ran to be president of the United States of America. What's your faith?
I'm a Christian. Follower of Jesus.
Great. Do you believe in the Holy Trinity? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit?
I think a lot of people here do. So
good. And that doesn't make you a polytheist, does it?
Probably not, no.
Great. And so in my faith, I believe there's one true God. He resides in all of us, and he appears in different forms, but it's one true God. So I'm an ethical monotheist.
Hey, Vivek, the other dude said he was a demon. So you might want to, you might want to put that in there. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you what he said.
Do you think it's inappropriate for someone who's a Hindu to be, say, a U.S. president?
No, I think it's, no, well.
You be honest.
Isn't Hinduism...
Because you're an Indian.
I can ask yourself that Hinduism believes in Shiva and, what is it, the flute god, I forget.
Right, Krishna, who's you're thinking of.
Yeah, Krishna.
This man said the flute god. This man, do all the instruments have one? I prefer the French horn. Yeah, French horn. Who's the French horn? All right, get back to me on that one. This man said the flute god. And note the pause when he was asked, do you think it's inappropriate for a Hindu to be president? No. Are we videotaping this? Is this a live stream?
But isn't Charlie Kirk's organization founded on Christian values as well? And isn't the United States of America also, you know, based on what Protestantism is, based on how those values are? Wouldn't that contradict what your beliefs are?
Like I said, I'm not here to justify my faith to you any more than you are to me, but what I do share is the value set this country was founded on. And I think that it's really important that we not reinvent the founding of this country and what it was actually all about.
See, Vivek, that's why we drag you all the time. That is why we drag you all the time. Because they actively reinvent the founding of this country regularly. Like their pushback against CRT or actual realistic retellings and recreations of the founding of this country. Yes, that's something you're perfectly fine with. But now it's a problem because you being asked about the flute god and the demon that you have up in your home. Now it's a problem. See, that's why, you know what I mean? That's why we always having these conversations. Surprise, Vivek Ramaswamy's Turning Point event derailed by racism. Event attendees asked Ramaswamy why he felt he could be the governor of Ohio even though he isn't Christian. And for the record, this isn't the first time that they have hidden their bigotry behind religion. With Vivek.
Throughout the course of the lecture, you talked an awful lot about God and faith. And there were some men that come up here and they ask you about your Hindu religion. But my suspicion is if they didn't mention that, you would have omitted who that God was throughout the course of the entire lecture. And most of the people in this room here would leave thinking you were talking about the only true God, Jesus Christ. And God has a name, and Hinduism is a wicked pagan religion. And it's completely incompatible with America. Most everyone in this entire room is a Christian. They believe in Jesus Christ. And you've attempted to create this parallel, however tenuously, between Christian principles, Christian moral principles, and these Hindu values. And you look in sacred scripture and you see that all the gods of the Gentiles are devils, and there's only one name under heaven that can give you salvation. So my big question is, and you've talked about being forthright and transparent, my suspicion is that you would have omitted who that God was when you were speaking here tonight, had you not explicitly been asked about Hinduism. So my challenge, I guess, to you going forward would be to say who this God is. Is it Wahaguru, the one that was blasphemously prayed to at the RNC? Is it one of these other Hindu deities? Or is it our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? So that's my question and challenge to you.
And if you thought that the right wing was going to pick Vivek up and protect him from the bigotry, Nick Fuentes, Jesus Christ is God. Oh, Valentina Gomez, you know she's going to pick me. Vivek, you didn't answer his question. You dodged it and deviated to Thomas Jefferson. Smart, but we're not falling for it. The United States is a Christian nation and we don't worship pagan gods. One nation under God. This lady said pagan gods. Yeah. Like they out here worshiping people from Lord of the Rings or something. Like, and this is, and she be killing it on Twitter on the right wing. They haven't denounced her yet. You want to be the first, Vivek? Someone should tell Vivek Turning Point isn't about turning the country brown. In a full face of conspicuous makeup, rendering him 3 shades lighter than normal, current candidate for Ohio Governor Vivek Ramaswamy took the stage at a Montana State University Turning Point USA event. I thought he looked a little different. I thought he was sick, but I thought he looked a little bit different. Let's take those one at a time. He said a full face of conspicuous makeup. In other words, not only are we calling out the idea, they're calling out the execution. Whoever it was that you hired to put that on your face did a horrible job. Just so you know, the craftsmanship was subpar. It looks like you got the same makeup artist that Trump uses. Why he had that 1 inch around his hairline. That's his regular complexion and the rest of it be orange. Like he just dipped his face in a vat of orange. That's what you got. That's what you, so the conspicuous part, let's get to the conspicuous. We all can see. We all can see. We have reference video of you to know what shade of brown you in fact truly. He trying to move up the brown paper bag chart. That's all. He trying to move up the brown paper bag chart. Nah, not after you're already a public figure. That doesn't work. You out here on that Sammy Sosa. Now, how about the makeup rendering you 3 shades lighter than normal? So not only are they calling out the craftsmanship, the fact that you tried to perpetrate a fraud and they are rejecting it. The shame of being called out for trying to perpetrate something like that and it being rejected. I've seen high school freshmen not get done this filthy. This is, and it's repeated. It's repeated, Vivek, and you just refuse to call it out. And by the way, while you're here, what was that? What was that look? Looked like seasoning or something. Was that Mrs. Dash you had on you? No, because Mrs. Dash be brown. Was that table salt that you put on your face? Right after Kirk was killed, Ben Shapiro sought to take his spot. Now Vivek, who's not MAGA, is speaking for Turning Point. I don't know why Turning Point is allowing this. I'll never co-sign anything in support of Turning Point USA, but to say that Vivek's unwashed, snide, wow. Vivek, you not gonna say nothing? You just gonna act like you didn't see that? You just gonna act like you didn't see that? We all saw it. So you can't put no makeup on that comment.
Stop! He's already dead.
But let's all be clear about exactly what's happening. They're talking about his religion, but the subtext is something we can all pick up.
Jesus Christ is God, and there is no other God. He is part of the Holy Trinity, and any other God is a demon, and it's false. How can you represent the constituents of Ohio who are 64% Christian if you are not a part of that faith? If you are an Indian, a Hindu, coming from a different culture, different religion than those who founded this country, those who grew this country, built this country, made this country the beautiful thing that it is today, what are you conserving? You are bringing change. I'll be 100% honest with you. Christianity.
First and foremost, I want to say good for Vivek here. He was able to experience the politics of white supremacy that he adopted and assimilated into, only to get chewed up and spit out. As a former white Christian nationalist, I am speaking from experience, not something I watched in a movie or read in a book. This is a real life experience. To all black and brown people, white Christian conservatives, especially MAGA, will only like you or promote you if you know your place. Look at Candace Owens. She was a MAGA darling, a star, until she got out of line. When she decided to dance to the beat of her own drum set, this is what they had to say about her. But the truth is, black and brown people already know this about white Christian nationalists. So to white people, recognize this truth and change. You notice how the kid in the video said that 64% of Ohio is Christian? How can you represent us as being Hindu? What he really wanted to say was 76% of Ohio is white. How can you represent us being a brown man? But as they say, there's no hate like Christian love. It's easier to masquerade their racism and their xenophobia under the guise of their Christian faith. The vast majority of them spewing this ignorance don't even know what Hinduism is. Hell, the vast majority of them have never read their Bible. But I love it when they say that this country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles. Our founding fathers, the signers of the Declaration of Independence, were all Protestant Christians. You know what else they were? Slave owners, at least half of them, and for the other half, it wasn't a deal breaker. Much like MAGA Republicans today, half of them are openly and explicitly racist, and the other half, it's not a deal breaker for them. But honestly, I'm really glad that Vivek got to experience this running for governor of Ohio. He got to see that people in MAGA will not like you based on your religion, your skin color, your sexual orientation, and your sexual preference. No matter how much you do your little dance, Vivek, white racist people will not pick you.
He is experiencing the Christian nationalism that he promoted, because we talk so much about these Christian nationalists and their takeover of various facets of American life, but they have been very clear in their aims for the kind of society that they would like to create, the makeup of that society as it relates to minorities and as it relates to women. And the simple fact of the matter is that hasn't been denounced by anybody on the right wing. So the assumption that I have to make, and that's why I stay on Megyn Kelly and Nikki Haley and all the other right wing women who refuse to call this out, as well as the black MAGAs. And in this case, you would fall into that category, Vivek Ramaswamy. You are endorsing their white supremacist worldview and allowing them to actually take control of facets of American life to create that. So how am I supposed to react when the chickens come home to roost with you specifically? You know?
Nah, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Huh?
You went to that Turning Point USA event. You took your brown ass there in front of all them white people.
Oh, no, hold on, brother. Hold on, brother. Hold on. No. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. No, we gonna slow cook this. We gonna let his own people get him first.
This is so funny because it shows you that all these South Asian men, especially who have become these big Trump supporters, they're not one of them. They're like, wait a second. Like, I'm white on the inside. They don't see that. Like, you can see Vivek's, like, hairline trying to run away from the situation. Or, like, Kash Patel in that one interview where they're like, we hope this person was a person of color. For so long, first-generation immigrant South Asian, Indian people have been told to assimilate to white standards. They might see themselves, or we might see ourselves as an American first and foremost. But the problem is, most of America does not see us this way. You know how many people ask me if I do yoga? If I pray 5 times a day? I grew up Catholic in Iowa. America will always be racist against people of color. You know, this is why people like Zohran Mamdani have resonated so much with people. It's because he's so authentic about who he is. He knows his identity. He's not trying to cosplay.
I'm not sure what it's going to take for my people to truly realize that we're not welcome here. And it really doesn't matter whether you were born here or not. We're all looked at the same. Now, if you're Indian and you're watching this, you know as much as I do that we have a lot of similarities and we have a lot of disconnects. As descendants of a nation that was once colonized, we tend to whitewash a lot. And that is a truly strange phenomenon that happens. As someone that looks like, speaks like, and basically has the same story as Vivek Ramaswamy, I can let you know right now that this is nothing new. It doesn't matter what your accent sounds like. It doesn't matter what you believe in. It doesn't even matter how rich you are. The point that I'm trying to make is that no matter how hard we try, we're never going to be them. And this is nothing different than what other minority groups go through in this country. Whether you're black, whether you're Mexican, whether you're Asian, whether you're Indian, it doesn't matter. We'll always be seen as the lackey, and as soon as they don't need us anymore, we're gone. And the faster that we realize that, the better it'll be.
Hey, Vivek, it's looking bad out here. It's looking... Hey, why don't you see if Nikki Haley or any of her people can pick you up? Yeah, her son is active on social media. He said something? Nayland Haley, wrong. America is not an idea. Otherwise, Liberia, which has a similar constitution, would be like the U.S. Also, the makeup isn't working for you. He would know. He would know, because he's used to, telling his mom about, so that's just a little constructive criticism. That's all that is. That's all that is. And I got a little bit more constructive criticism. But this comes from us.
Vivek Ramaswamy met with the people that he wants to represent, right? The Maga supporters, the Charlie Kirk supporters, right? The Christian nationalists. He met with them, right? Boy, they turned that boy every which way but loose. Hey, yo, white folks, y'all did a good-ass job with that. I absolutely, it warmed my heart to see the blatant racism. It warmed my heart to see his people that he wants to represent tell him in his face, if your Indian ass don't get out of here, we don't want you here either. Yo, fork found in fucking kitchen. Like, we already knew this. But the fact that Vivek is sitting there trying to defend this is even more crazy. The dude said, I don't really like legal immigration. What do you think about that? His parents immigrated here. The other little kid said, hey, how you supposed to represent us? You're an Indian. Oh, I mean, you're Hindu. Yo, you can't make it up.
Whoa. It warmed my heart to see the... I don't know that blatant racism has ever warmed my heart. Maybe when I used to return back to South Carolina for summers, when I was a kid, it might have, maybe a little bit. Felt like I was coming back home again, kind of thing. But, I got it.
Vicky was trying so hard not to answer that phone. He was trying so hard not to answer the phone. Even though he heard the phone ringing, he was trying so hard not to answer it. And you might ask, who was on the line? Well, in the black community, we say to people like the Hodge twins, Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, Angry Man, Antoine Davidson, Andre Williams, and the rest of the coons. That's your wake-up call.
Y'all heard him. Mm-hmm.
But see, we gotta rewind because Vicky, he didn't want to pick the phone up when Trump said that he was gonna get rid of birthright citizenship. Vicky didn't pick the phone up to realize, hey, maybe I should get off of this train because I'm the poster board for birthright citizenship. I am the product of 2 immigrants who came to America and I was born in America. But Vicky wanted to say stuff like the founding fathers and the Constitution. None of that shit was designed for you, Vicky. Vicky, you are Indian. Talking about Thomas Jefferson and Ben Franklin, they're not your founding fathers. Your founding fathers are whoever founded India. That's your founding fathers because, like someone said, 2 immigrants shouldn't equal a citizen.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Wow.
No one cared that you had some people who didn't even have affiliation with religion. Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Johnson, no affiliation. Herbert Hoover, Richard Nixon was Quakers. But you know what? Rutherford B. Hayes, unaffiliated Protestant, like Barack Obama. But they didn't catch no hell because they was white, Vicky. See, Vicky, it sounds good talking to a bunch of college students telling them, hey, the Constitution doesn't say that you have a requirement for religion, because they was telling you in a nice way, we don't want your brown ass as the president. We don't want your brown ass as the governor.
Hands down, my favorite pastime is when a brown or black person has that realization that they will never be liked by racists. If you haven't heard of this guy, he is running for governor in Ohio. He decided to go to the Turning Point USA to get their support. And they humbled him so quickly with one thing, his religion. He's not Christian. And I don't know why he thought that they were going to see him somehow as an equal. A, you're brown. B, they don't like any other religion that isn't Christianity. So every single person who got up at the mic was like, you can't be our governor. You're not white. You're not Christian. And here he is. His heart is breaking. He's done nothing but chuck, jive, tap dance to appease them. And when it comes down to it, it was never enough. And so that's how y'all look. If y'all wanted to know how y'all look, for those of you who be tap dancing, chucking and jiving and wondering what it's going to look like when the tables turn, it looks like this. You see that? That's what it looks like.
And Vivek, don't worry. You're not alone in having your find out moment in 2025, because the streets are littered with the shattered hopes and dreams of pick-me's that enabled this administration.
Now, Vivek Ramaswamy, are you starting to get it now? You went to that Turning Point USA event. You took your brown ass there in front of all them white people to try to convince them that you are somehow going to be a good choice to be governor of Ohio. Ohio, the state that I come from, that super white ass state. And them white folk flamed you, and they told you what they really think about you. That white boy went and said, Jesus is God and Christianity is the only religion. If you pray to any other religion, you are praying to a demon. He said you and what you pray to was on demon time. And they sat there and criticized, why would a brown Hindu man be the governor of Ohio? White Christian interests should be upheld. They don't want to be told what to do by a brown man. That's what you don't seem to get yet. You were only ever invited into those spaces because you were Donald Trump's little whipping boy. And you got to go up there and parrot all of Donald Trump's talking points in a manner that was more concise because you can actually functionally read. And then once Trump got back into office, all of you pick-me's had outlived your usefulness. That's why they got rid of your ass at Doge, because you was a brown man in a white space trying to talk. And they didn't need your ass no more. So they kicked you to the curb. And you think that all of a sudden you got a shot in Ohio. And I need to be honest, when I think about these pick-me's, when I think about these emotional support, I have come to the conclusion that y'all actually have a humiliation fetish. You have a humiliation kink. Because you can actually go up there and parrot white supremacist talking points. When these same white supremacists, like, we voted for Donald Trump, we voted for a man who promised mass deportations. And when we're talking about mass deportations, they're talking about your ass. They're talking about your parents' ass who immigrated here. But you still don't get it yet. Because you actually think that you're one of the good ones. You're so steeped in your anti-blackness that you really think they'll ever have a seat for you. And they never will. And I know that while you like to get your rocks off while they're insulting you, that impacts other brown folk down the line.
And the sheer fact that you thought that you were going to be rewarded when you knew once he got into office, Trump wouldn't need you anymore, is baffling to me. You know what I mean? That part is absolutely absurd. That's kind of like the farmers. You know, and the farm, oh no, he gonna take care of us this time like he didn't last time, this time when he doesn't need our vote. Like, and then I'm supposed to have some empathy and a soft heart in receiving you back into society after you done all turncoated on all the rest of us for your 30 pieces of silver that you never received. Like, I just, now I see why he want to hide. Now I see, maybe it wasn't that it was lightning. Maybe it was shame. He was trying to hide. And then, cause the white one normally be the fastest one you can get. If you order it off Amazon or Walmart or something like that, normally, because that's the one that's, most available. So that might have been either that or that Spirit Halloween mask didn't come in time. I got a question. Can I see his opponent? Yeah, Dr. Amy Acton. Can I see her?
So we got to watch out for the governor's race in Ohio taking place at midterms. There's two candidates that are already rising to the top in terms of just being out there. Let's start with the Republicans. We've got Vivek Ramaswamy. You guys remember, he's a slime ball. The man has zero ethics. He's oh my God, I want to be a tech bro pick-me type. He spreads all the same lies, misinformation, disinformation. You can really see his narcissism. The guy is just gross, okay? But he's running for governor in Ohio. So he can't run on that. Why can't he run on that? Because Ohio is a unique state where most Republicans there are not extremist MAGA. They're hardworking, decent people with conservative values, okay? They were the ones who, defended the Haitians with the rest of the MAGA world around this country, and Trump saying they're eating our cats and dogs. These are the people who elected J.D. Vance as senator when he ran as an anti-Trump candidate. Governor DeWine has risen above all of the MAGA extremism and has done a good job in his state. So Vivek can't run on those ugly, lying extremist talking points. So he's going to be speaking at a Turning Point USA event right around the corner, and he's going to be delivering this message. My fellow Republicans, we must get away from the owning the libs rhetoric and agenda. We've got to tone that down. We've got to be willing to work across the aisle. He's not delivering that message because that's what he believes. He's as unethical and divisive as the rest. He's doing it because it's the only way he can win in Ohio with the composition of Republicans there. Now, on the Democratic side, we have Amy Acton, Dr. Amy Acton. She's a physician and a researcher. And just to show you how Governor DeWine puts Ohio above politics, he appointed her as a Democrat to run the Ohio Department of Health. He took all of the advice from her to get Ohio through COVID, and he stood by her side, and she did a fantastic job. He didn't care that she was a Democrat. He just wanted the best people. So she's running on the Democratic ticket.
Oh, I feel good about this. Yeah, I feel good about this. This is a good one. Yeah, I feel good about this one. Huh? Why? I just got a feeling. I just got a feeling. This one might go our way. Can we bet on this on FanDuel? Thank you guys so much for supporting the content and for keeping the energy from September pushing all the way into October.
Wake me up when September ends. Pale September.
Wait a minute. No, I said October. We supposed to be doing October. What you mean ain't no October songs? No. October is the best month of the year. You got Halloween, which is the best of the holidays because you don't have no disappointments. Ain't like Thanksgiving where you got your family asking why you ain't found nobody, or Christmas where you got to do math to make sure you don't end up in the negatives with the gift giving. Everybody loves candy. I know everybody loves candy, and your aunties get a re-up because it's about time they got some new candy because they be giving you that same peppermint candy since you was 7 from the bottom of that purse. They need some new candy, and Halloween is the perfect time to do so. You got the beautiful fall foliage and the changing color of the leaves. The weather opens up your whole entire closet. You can wear whatever you want. Not to mention it is Libra season, and Libras make the world go round. If it weren't for Libras, we be all out of whack. Huh? When's my birthday? It's October. Why? I can be unbiased. I be unbiased here every day. Just because it's my birthday, I mean, that maybe have a little something to do with it, but not a whole lot. And by the way, while we're talking about the greatest, I do want to give a shout out to Regina, who's been working extremely hard on the newsletter. Make sure you send me your feedback on things that you would like to see in the newsletter. You can sign up for that at patreon.com/Reese Waters. And I must tell you how touched I was. I had some issues with the platform and had to do a late night impromptu premiere the other day. And almost 1,500 people showed up. No warning, on a Saturday at like 11 o'clock at night. Not to mention the fact that lovely Nola was able to show up and be a mod at that particular premiere. And I'm going to tell you, it was rough. It was rough. Yeah, she was out there, and she was out there like Atlas. Yeah, it was bad. It was like Sunny at the Causeway. She got lit up like Canelo. But you know what? She made it. And it's that kind of jumping in and lending a hand, and all you guys that came in that were so supportive at that particular premiere. I just want to say that really touched my heart, and I want to say thank you. Now, while we're on the topic of touching my heart, I got to send some love to Tiger in Kentucky. She reached out to me some time ago and said that she builds models, and she wanted to build one for me. And I said, you know what? I would be honored. I have room in the back. I would love to see one. And I thought a live unboxing would be the way to go. Now, it might have been helpful if I would at least loosen the box. Tiger, thank you so much. This is awesome. You sent me a note as well. I'm looking very forward to putting this together and finding a spot for it in the back. And you never know. I got little ones. I might start a whole collection of little figurines. Huh? No, they can't touch mine. Now, I'm going to be just like my aunties and uncles were for me. Now, you come in, you sit down, you don't touch nothing. Matter of fact, in a year, I'm putting plastic on that couch.